A few weeks back, thousands and lakhs of students gave the iit-jee examination. iit-jee, for those of you who don't know, is one of the toughest examinations in the world which students give to get into the topmost engineering colleges in India, like the Indian Institutes of Technologies. I was seeing on Twitter of how students talk about this examination, how anxious they are, and rightly so, how scared they are for the results. The results are going to come out soon, and I wanted to make a video, a personal story video. Basically, I'm not here to give you any suggestions or anything, but I never talked about this in the 4 years of making content. I never shared my personal struggles. I never shared my personal journey of how I was a victim of this race of iit-jee. So basically, I gave iit-jee in 2015, which was one of the toughest examinations during that year, which was set by IIT Bombay. And to give this examination, I had prepared like hell for 2 years, and I even went to Kota to prepare for these examinations. For those of you who don't know, Kota is a place in India where people go to just study for this examination. Apparently, they are the best teachers, and it gives you the environment to study. I had a very different experience with Kota, and there's a TV show also, there's a Netflix show about this particular town which is called Kota Factory, and there's a line in this show which really reminds me and haunts me, which says that तुम तो कोटा से निकल जाते हो but कोटा तुमसे नहीं निकल पाता, which basically says you go out of Kota but the Kota in you never leaves. And it took me a lot of years to get out of that phase of depression and that phase of not feeling enough in this world. It took me some time. And books, reading, literature had a big part to play in that. In this video, I want to share how books have helped me to come out of that state. I've never talked about these struggles, but I feel it was the right time, especially for students who are in this phase of competitive examinations right now, who are struggling in their own way. They say life is an exam, giving exam never ends, but some of these exams are just blown out of proportion in their importance to your life. So I'm going to talk about my personal stories and how books have helped me. So basically, when I was in Kota, before going to Kota, I had like a colorful life. I was a dancer, I was a quizzer, I used to do a lot of theater, I loved quizzing, I loved movies. I was a very multi-faceted personality in my school, and I was also great at academics. I was great at math, I was great at, math and physics, which were the required things for STEM. So naturally, I thought Kota is the way to go. So everybody around me thought, let's go to Kota and, get in the race and win this race. After going there, my life exactly became black and white, and I experienced the horrors of the city. And I say horrors for a person like me because yes, for those cream people, for those less than 1% of people who are actually going to get a rank by putting in the work, for them Kota is great. But for 99% of the students, it's almost like hell, because not only they kill your dreams, not only they kill your aspirations, but they tell you that if you don't crack this examination, you will end up nowhere. And I started believing that. I started believing that this is the only way to win a race. There is no other race in the world, and there is no other success metric that will define your life. Looking back at it right now, I'm very comfortable to say that I'm glad things turned out the way they did. I did not go into an IIT, I went into an NIT, but later in my life, because of reading, because of having a different perspective about life, I've done much better, I feel, for myself when I look back at it. The next thing was, when I was studying, the All India Rank 1 in 2025 was from my classroom, Mr. Satwat Jagwani. I don't know if you're watching it, but you were in my classroom, and for those 2 years, all of us compared ourselves to you. We were literally comparing ourselves to All India 1, which is a huge deal. I feel All India 1 is, you have to be gifted to get a rank like that. Hard work alone does not suffice it. And I've seen Satwat's brilliance. He was one of those guys to which STEM came naturally. Technology and mathematics came to him very naturally, like Mozart plays his music, or Federer plays tennis, Sachin plays cricket. In a similar way, we saw how he understood mathematics and physics. It did not come to me. And we all felt, I personally felt that it's never going to be enough. I'm just not gifted. And we started just taking ourselves not very seriously, and we started feeling I am not dumb and I have to hard work. I have to put in a lot of work. But that work did not align with my interests and a lot of other things. So I was in a mess. I was in a mental mess of not feeling enough. By reading books, I understood that this was not a race which I was supposed to run, my race was something different. By reading books by, Murakami, by Khalid Hosseini, by reading Man's Search for Meaning, like inspirational books like these, books by Abdul Kalam, all of these beautiful writers, it just started fulfilling my intellectual curiosity, and I understood that I'm fundamentally a very curious person. I'm not an engineering problem solving person. I'm very curious about things, and the more I started reading books, it gave me such a different perspective that I was like, why was I even running that race, right? There's so much to explore in this world. There's so much to know about different stories. I realize stories connect me on a fundamental level. Whenever I'm reading a story, I just put myself in the shoes of those characters and I experience the beautiful world. I travel to distant lands, to magical lands, to different perspectives, I'm doing time traveling. I'm reading about 17th century. I'm reading about science fiction. I'm doing all of these things. And by reading, it just places you in a different place of, that there's so much more to this world than just one examination, and that one examination, that one rank does not define you at all. Like, even to think about that, like a fool thinking his identity depends on his or her rank. That was a big shift that happened to me by reading books. I started to understand that there's so much more to life than just a rank that you get. The next notion was the definition of success. We were made to believe that only by getting a rank, you'll get a good job, you'll have this dollar amount in your bank account, and then you can be successful. On the contrary, now success for me has a very different definition. Maybe 5 years down the line, there'll be another different definition, I don't know. But right now the definition is, so in your life, you get these moments of flow states, of fulfillment, right? You're doing something and you feel so fulfilled from inside, you feel at peace. When I'm reading a book, when I'm playing a sport, when I'm with my friends or family, I'm having a good meal, I'm having a good day at work. These little moments just makes me feel fulfilled. It's like a flow state for me. A collection of these flow states, however small, more the flow states, the more is the quality of my life, the more successful I am. That has become my definition of life rather than any amount of money in my bank account. And weirdly enough, the more I'm chasing these flow states, the more I'm chasing like my intellectual curiosity, the more my financial metrics are also working up. I'm getting good jobs. I graduated from one of the top universities in the world in America, and just everything is just working out. So I've realized just changing your perspective about what North Star metric to follow just helped. So if you're in a phase where you think the rank is going to define you for the entirety of your life, just forget that notion. No rank is going to define you forever. The next thing is patience. Books have taught me to be patient. See, when you read a book, especially when you finish a book, after reading that last page, you feel accomplished, right? And you feel accomplished because you put in the time, you are patient to finish the book and complete the book. And once you complete it, there is a sense of reward, a mental reward. You feel so fulfilled. You feel like you've literally cracked the examination. So the more I started reading more and more books, finishing more and more books, I was already winning my own race. No external examination was supposed to validate me. I was already winning. So this is my suggestion. Like, if you want to win on a particular day, if you want to crack an exam, just try reading a book and finishing a book. You will feel like you have accomplished something. So that's how reading helped me. And the last thing that I want to share is comparison, right? Comparison is the worst thing that you can do. Everybody has their own race. Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own belief systems, experiences. There's just no point comparing yourself. I compared myself to the best in India, and it took me a lot of time to get out of that mentality. I would never consider myself best just because of a rank or just because of some amount of money that I have in my bank, right? I would be best at doing my own thing, right? Right now, I feel so fulfilled that I've helped thousands of people get into the habit of reading books. How can you compare that to anything in this world? I have made people laugh, cry, feel something through the books that I have recommended. I get so many emails and letters saying how thankful they are to make them read books. I don't know what amount of money can match this level of happiness. Nothing can. So you just need to find out something that really resonates with you, something like this, and then you just are out of the race. There is just no comparison for you. I can't compare myself to anyone in this world because there's just nobody else apart from me who's doing this, because I'm doing it in my own particular way. That's a very, very freeing feeling that just frees you from all the worldly challenges, and especially in today's day and age where there is an information boom, there is just a constant race and people are just killing it out there in their own way. I'm not saying that is bad, good for them, but you decide your own path, you decide what just really makes you happy, and then that's it. Everything else will follow. Once you do the thing that you really love doing, everything follows. And again, this comes up with a corollary that it just has to work once. You don't have to wait or prepare for that one shot. And I'd like to always end this by saying, there's a scene in the movie Interstellar where Murph tells the professor that, but professor, we've already tried this multiple times. Why are we doing this one more time? And the professor says, but Murph, it only has to work once. All your life, anything that you do, it only has to work once. If I talk about my YouTube videos, I would never think about the numbers or whatever, wherever I want to go. I just want to make sure more and more people commit to the habit of reading. And I know the more I keep doing it, it just will work once, and it will just explode, and I will go viral or whatever, and more people will sign up to this cause. So I'm very hopeful that way. I'm very optimistic that way because of books. I've learned this from books. So yeah, I think that was just a story that I wanted to tell, and especially for students who are in this phase right now, who are waiting for results of iit-jee. I know a lot of subscribers of my channel are students and are in this phase. So I wanted to talk to you one-on-one like this and just try to motivate you in some ways that this is just a part of your life. This is not your life. There's so much to life than just the marks that you are going to get. Even if you will get it, great, because it's going to be a very good confidence booster for you that you cracked the world's toughest examination. Even if you don't get it, just find your own resonance, find your own path, and you would be good. Trust me, this is coming from a person who could not crack the iit-jee even after giving 2 full years of hard work and dedication and everything to this examination, but I just could not get it. I tried everything. I prayed a lot, I worked hard a lot, I did everything right, but somehow it didn't work. But it worked later. After many years, I feel I'm out of this whole phase of Kota's depression now. I feel at ease right now. I don't feel the pressure of, I couldn't crack that examination. So you can come up to this phase very soon. Start reading books, they will help you. I started reading a lot later, but yeah, sorry about the rant, but that was what I wanted to talk in this video. Hope you like this video. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this, if you too struggled with something like this, and share just whatever you feel like. Thank you so much for watching this video till here. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.